Hey, how you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to have a general, discussion. Basically, it's about that I'm not really waiting for the announcement, or I should even say an event for the PlayStation 5. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not as if I'm, very patient and capable of waiting because I'm not that excited for this. No, that's completely wrong. I'm impatient, and yes, I'm extremely excited for the PlayStation 5 event and see what it has to offer as well. Because it's been too long, we're starving on the information and the news, and so, we're patiently, we're somewhat patiently waiting for it. Now, why that is the case in my regard, okay? First of all, because the PlayStation 4 era and the cycle has not yet ended. That's understandable, due to the fact of so many fantastic games still coming out exclusively on the PlayStation 4. Of course, you already know what I'm talking about. The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. And mind you, since we've gotten a very recent trailer, a story trailer mind you, and a release date for the Ghost of Tsushima, and being apart from The Last of Us Part 2 just 1 month? What? Like May, at the end of May will be The Last of Us Part 2, and the month after that, June 26th, will be Ghost of Tsushima. It's pretty much kind of like you finished up with The Last of Us Part 2, the story and the game overall. Let's say you go for a Platinum Trophy as well, just let's say that. And you finish that as well. And then it's like, oh, wow, we got Ghost of Tsushima coming out. And now you got plenty of time, a whole summer, if you want to, tune into the Ghost of Tsushima, since it is an open world game. And the element, because of the open world game, it usually could mean that it could be even bigger than more of a linear approach. Now, The Last of Us Part 2 is not necessarily a linear game either. You will have your, openness to it as well. It's not going to be an open world game as well, just so you know. It's been already confirmed. But Ghost of Tsushima is an open world game, so you would expect that to see Ghost of Tsushima would have more content. And mind you, I'll be honest and upfront, I'm extremely biased towards Japan culture and samurai's era. I understand, like Mongols as an example, you're going to be fighting in the, and as you being Jin, pretty much a ninja, and you're not exactly going with an honor and tactics of a samurai, but something else in that you adapt and you learn from. And you kind of pretty much, like I said, becoming a ninja, a badass ninja, mind you. Now, knowing as well Sucker Punch, they're not exactly gonna pull the punches. That kind of rhymed a little bit, maybe. Sucker Punch, not gonna pull the punches. But anyway, I don't think they're gonna pull the punches regarding of the consequences and the choices, decisions that you can make. If you guys are familiar with the infamous The Second Son, and basically I believe you only had two options. One was evil, one was, good. And that's all up to you to decide how you want to approach that. I kind of do expect, I don't know if that is the case, but I kind of do expect to see something of a similarity in the Ghost of Tsushima. Now, obviously, it's not going to be exactly as a cartoony or a superhero-esque, or maybe consequences that don't really matter, with the decisions that you make, go an evil route or a good route. It does not really matter, right, with the consequences of whatever, right? So, Ghost of Tsushima, I personally think, because we already know this, right, 6 years in development, even longer than this seems like it's going to be. Yeah, it's understandable how long, the Sucker Punch would have had a time and the, an ability to create something in their own right. Basically, what I'm talking about, in their own making, I'm sure they would have improvised and improved all the things that they already are familiar with and that they know. And one of the things as well, since, it feels like perhaps, and I kind of hope, I want to say, this is speculation by the way, I hope there's going to be a lot bigger consequences if you go with an evil route or even a good route, who knows. And personally to me, I'm going to be honest and upfront, if we do have this option, my choice is definitely going to be staying this dark-esque of a samurai shadow, being a ninja. That's my route. That's what I want. I don't care about the consequences. I want to be a badass ninja, pretty much by fear by all. And that's the best part about this game that I'm super ecstatic about. Not because of the samurai, don't get me wrong. If I love the game so much, and I will replay it again, because since I'm getting a collector's edition, obviously it's gonna be a physical edition, so I'm gonna keep the CD, the game, and basically replay it again and again as many times as I want. Definitely gonna go for a plat because it is an exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and the game's bloody fantastic as so far as we have seen. And if that's the correct way of me thinking about this game, and if that's they're going to approach with that route, for example, where consequences and the decision making that you can do, I'm gonna stay as an evil bastard, perhaps maybe not a bastard, but Führerbauer basically guy. And then maybe if I will love the game, then I will obviously try out a different route as well. Now, it's not necessarily could be like one or the other choice. It could be up to like one or the other or another, like up to 5 to 6 choices. Let's just say that there's always a possibility on that route as well. I don't know. This is going to be very exciting personally to me as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how Sucker Punch will decide to go with that kind of approach for their game, Ghost of Tsushima. The Last of Us Part 2, we already kind of know that it's not going to have these kind of decision-making, material, right? The Last of Us Part 2 as well, it's going to be more of a linear story approach. Story, not exactly the gameplay linear, but the story approach. And personally, I cannot wait for that also. I kind of was, as the way things are going, I think it would have been a way better idea or option that The Last of Us Part 2 would have came out at the end of February. But instead, obviously, since it got delayed, coming out at the end of May this time around. And, it feels like, I feel like, that the breathing room, there will be not exactly enough compared to like The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, even though they are very two different games. Except the only similarities to both of them is just a third-person perspective camera. And that's really it. And mind you, I'm a sucker for third-person perspective camera. I like third-person more than first-person. Yes, even though my most anticipated game, actually, I'm gonna say it because it's everybody's most anticipated game, the Cyberpunk 2077. That's a first-person action game. And I'm glad the way there is a third-person perspective as well, since you'll be driving or going on a bike, as an example. And maybe there will be other options as well as a third-person perspective too. I'm gonna have plenty of fun time with all of these games since, mind you, they're all coming out pretty much in the summer summer season time, I should probably should say. That's not necessarily, like in Europe, I might as well tell you guys, in Europe, summer starts in June, it ends in, the end of August, right? September starts a new season. And then we get autumn, right? September, October, November, right? And so December is winter, January and February is also winter. And so, it kind of continues with that kind of a cycle. That's how we have in Europe. I know that America or Australia, I believe they actually have different types of seasons with different months, I should say. But I'm not too sure. I've never been there, to be honest, not in Australia or in America. So I can't be exactly certain about that part. And so a lot of people say that September still counts of a summer sort of season. And, to some point of the day on that month. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Still, I'd like to, understand that as well. Basically, May is going to be busy month. At the end of May, I should even say. No. How about that? Because it's coming out at the end of May, so I should even say full June, right? It's going to be busy month. E3 is well going to be happening. That is, of course, if the coronavirus does not interfere again. Oh my God, with the event. And then we're gonna have a very busy July because, Ghost of Tsushima coming out at the end of the June. So July, I presumably, is gonna be very busy. Then we're gonna have a break in August. September rolls around. Then we're gonna have the Cyberpunk 2077 rolling in the middle of September. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be very busy time. And, that's gonna be great. Like plenty of time to get into the games that you perhaps will be expecting as well. Right, a lot of people actually are kind of surprised, and I'm one of them, that a big game like as such Ghost of Tsushima coming out in June, and that's considered to be more of a summer season, right? That depends again on what region you're at, and because usually big games never come out in summer, because a lot of people, they take their breaks, they don't buy anything, they just relax, they do their own thing. But perhaps maybe Sony or Sucker Punch or whoever, right? Maybe they wanted to go with a different approach, see if this would be beneficial to them. And maybe, just goddamn maybe, this might be good news for you guys as well, especially for youngsters out there. if this game does well, expect more and bigger games coming out during summer and during summer season. If that's the case, if that's how they're gonna go about, there's gonna be plenty of good games coming out during summer when you perhaps will be relaxing. And let's say you'll be getting a suntan as an example, going to the beach, and basically you're gonna be picking up a game, and finally you can relax. Don't have to think about school or work as an example for some people as well. And so, yeah, you're gonna have plenty of time for yourself, completely for yourself, and playing your favorite game. That is, of course, well, if it is your favorite game, but still, that's gonna be exciting. That only will be a very good, a positive thing for the future. Now, again, we don't know if that's how it's gonna go. Also, very much will depend on sale and people's expectations for the game as well, and the reviews too. Because, mind you, even if the game does come out in summer, does not necessarily mean that the reviews are going to be fantastic, because obviously a lot of people and journalists and YouTubers are going to get the game, review the game, and think about if the game is actually worth it or not. And, reviews will come out, it's going to be like 9 out of 10, masterpiece, or it's going to be like an average game, who knows. And obviously, I don't expect it to be an average game, I expect it far higher than quality than that. 6 years in development, how can it be an average game? That's kind of question that kind of raises in my mind. How the hell can this game can be an average game? I just don't see it. The game is big, cannot wait. It's gonna be exciting. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe as always, and have a good one, guys.